Local health officials are raising awareness about lead poisoning as National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week kicks into gear, and they're doing it with some head-turning stats. For instance, according to the Michigan Department of Community Health, one Grand Rapids zip code led the state for the highest number of lead-poisoned kids last year. And last year in Kent County, 551 kids had elevated blood lead levels high enough to, quote, cause learning difficulties and neurological damage. Joining us now in studio, Joan Dyer. Joan, supervisor of childhood lead poisoning prevention programs at the Kent County Health Department. Joan, thanks for your time tonight. Before we get into the geographic issue here regarding lead poisoning, set the table for us. What are we talking about? What is in the home? What is the danger here?
Primarily in the Kent County region, it's lead-based paint that has dusted and become part of windowsills, floors, doors, and it's picked up by children, ingested, hands-to-mouth activity, and that's really our major problem here. Some of it is also from remodeling. We always have to be careful when we're remodeling an older home that is pre-1950 or even pre-1978, that it's done in a lead-safe manner.
Yes, take the necessary precautions when you're doing that abatement project. Okay, let's talk about the geographic issues here. I think we're going to bring up a graphic here of Kent County that you shared with us earlier today. These are where some of the cases are popping up. We have dots that are clustered around the city of Grand Rapids. Now explain this. Why are we seeing this clustering? Is this the age of the homes in this particular area?
Yeah, so the age of the homes, and so aging housing stock, you look at 131 coming up right through the middle, a major thoroughfare, older major thoroughfare that had a lot of traffic on it. That's when lead was still in gasoline. So tossing lead into the air, settling into the dust. And then it's just, we have a high number of kids in that area. So you're seeing a lot of children living in an area, young families, and then there's a lot of testing in Kent County also, which also attributes to your numbers.
The testing would, I guess that's why we're seeing this threshold, some of the numbers, and you were just pointing out too that some of the levels that you've got to hit have actually been lowered by the federal government, so that's why you're maybe seeing a spike in some of these numbers. Let's show another map here. We're going to zero in specifically on the city of Grand Rapids. What are we seeing here, Joan?
Well, you see the communities. These are really neighborhood communities that are affected by lead poisoning, so where the dots are clustered are where there were cases of lead poisoning. In the city of Grand Rapids, 49507 came up as the highest zip code, but really 49503 and 49504 were in the top 20 zip codes. So you actually see that on the map. You see those neighborhood communities, but you can see the zip code relationship there to lead poisoning also.
And that's where we're seeing a particular spike. The big question I'm sure homeowners have out there, what steps can they take? Is there an easy fix to any of this?
Well, it's not easy, but there are easier things. There's intervention that can be done. You know, one of the things that we always say to people is don't start remodeling your home if it's older before you go on and learn about lead-safe remodeling efforts. You can always call the City of Grand Rapids. They have a lead remediation grant. They'll also provide a lot of information for someone who wants to start doing some work in their own house. Then from my standpoint, I encourage people to get their children tested for lead. I encourage them to follow any recommendations that the health department or their child care provider gives them, particularly in terms of really good nutrition. And then to always follow up with any recommendations that are made to them in terms of retesting. So sort of the basic 3 or 4 are follow the doctor's orders, get the lead testing, investigate lead-safe work practice, and call the City of Grand Rapids or one of the other programs that are available in the state of Michigan for lead remediation.
Yeah, there are resources, there's monetary help out there as well.
Yes.
Take advantage of it, absolutely.
Definitely.
Because this is, we were saying, this has been on our radar for far too long now here in Kent County. Joan Dyer with the Kent County Health Department, thanks for your time tonight, Joan.
Oh, thank you very much.